What if you're not the main character of your life? Not metaphorically, what if in the story of this world, you're just a background character? Think about it. Every movie follows someone. The camera stays with them. The story bends around their decisions. Their struggles matter. Their choices shape the plot. But real life doesn't have a camera. And if it did, there's no guarantee it would be pointing at you. From childhood, we're taught to see life like a story. You are the hero. Your journey. Your destiny. Movies tell us this. Books tell us this. Social media practically screams it every day. People talk about having main character energy, morning routines, life arcs, personal glow-ups. Everyone is building the narrative of their own movie, which sounds great until you realize something slightly awkward. There are over 8 billion people on Earth, and statistically, that's a lot of main characters. At some point, the story stops looking like a movie and starts looking like a very chaotic crowd scene. Psychologists actually study something close to this idea. It's called the spotlight effect. The tendency to believe people notice us far more than they actually do. For example, you trip while walking down the street. You assume everyone saw it, everyone noticed, everyone remembers. But the truth? Most people didn't even look up from their phone, which is both comforting and slightly insulting. Your embarrassing moment wasn't even important enough to become someone else's memory. Congratulations, you didn't just lose your dignity, you also lost your screen time. Now imagine walking through a busy city. Hundreds of people pass you, thousands. To your brain, most of them are just background characters, extras, NPCs. People your story briefly renders before deleting them forever. But here's where things get strange. In their story, you are the NPC. The random person in the background. The stranger who walked past them on Tuesday afternoon. The person who held the elevator door. The face they saw once and never again. You appeared in their story for about 3 seconds, and then your character despawned. No dramatic music, no plot twist, just gone. Here's a statistic that makes this idea even stranger. Scientists estimate that around 117 billion humans have lived on Earth. Out of those billions, how many can you name? Maybe a few dozen, maybe a few hundred if you're really into history. Which means most human stories quietly disappeared, not because they didn't matter, but because the world is simply too large for every life to become a legend. History remembers the scientists, the inventors, the explorers, the leaders. But most lives ripple only a short distance. Family, friends, coworkers, a small circle. And then the ripple fades. But don't worry, if you're not the main character of humanity, there's still good news. At least you're not the person who invented the alarm clock. That person is definitely the villain of the story. Idea becomes fascinating. Even if you are not the main character of the world, you are still the only main character of your consciousness. No one else experiences your thoughts, your memories, your fears, your dreams. Your random 2 a.m. thoughts like, why did I say that weird thing in 2014? Their entire perception of reality exists inside your mind. And that leads to a strange scientific fact. Your brain processes about 11 million bits of information every second, but your conscious mind can only handle about 40, which means most of reality is happening outside your awareness. Your brain is constantly editing the story, cutting scenes, removing details, rewriting memories. In a way, your mind is already the director of a movie. You're just also the actor inside it. But now imagine something incredible. Every person you pass on the street has a story just as complex as yours. They have memories you will never see, conversations you will never hear, moments that shaped their life long before you met them. To them, you might be a minor character, but minor characters sometimes change everything. The teacher who encouraged someone, the stranger who gave unexpected advice, the random comment that shifted someone's perspective. A tiny moment in your life might become a turning point in someone else's story. Somewhere out there, someone remembers you as that weird person who waved back when I wasn't waving at them. And honestly, that might already be your legacy. And if you enjoy exploring strange questions like this, the kind that make ordinary reality feel a little bigger, consider subscribing. Because in the next videos, we're going to explore questions like, what if time doesn't work the way you think? What if your brain is constantly lying to you? Or what if consciousness itself is one of the biggest mysteries in the universe? But for now, let's finish this story. In storytelling, side characters often seem small, but without them, the entire story collapses. Think about it. Without allies, mentors, strangers, and coincidences, most heroes wouldn't survive the first act. Stories aren't built around a single person. They're built around intersections. Moments where lives briefly cross paths, where two timelines touch for a few seconds before separating forever. Your life intersects with thousands of others, even if you never notice it. So maybe the real question was never, am I the main character? Maybe the better question is, what kind of character am I in other people's stories? Because somewhere, in someone's memory, you might be the person who helped them, inspired them, made them laugh on a difficult day, or changed their direction without even realizing it. And maybe the most powerful characters in the world are not the ones in the spotlight, but the ones who quietly changed the story without ever knowing they were part of it.